Zhuge Liang, courtesy name Kongming, was a chancellor of the state of Shuhan during the Three Kingdoms period. He is recognized as the greatest and most accomplished strategist of his era, and has been compared to another great ancient Chinese strategist, Sun Tzu, often depicted wearing a Taoist robe and holding a hand fan made of crane feathers. Zhuge Liang was an important military strategist, statesman and accomplished scholar and inventor. His reputation as an intelligent and learned scholar grew even while he was living in relative seclusion, earning him the nickname Wulong or Fulong. Zhuge is an uncommon two-character Chinese compound family name. His name, even his surname alone, has become synonymous with intelligence and strategy in Chinese culture. Early life. Zhuge Liang was born in AD 181 at Yangdu, in Langya. He was orphaned at a premature age, and was raised by his uncle, Zhuge Shan. Later, he followed his uncle to live in Jing province, which was governed by Liu Biao. Zhuge Liang enjoyed reciting Liang Fu Yin, a folk song popular in Shandong, his birthplace. He also liked to compare himself to Guanzhong and Yu Yi, two famous historical figures. He developed close friendships with members of the local literati, such as Zhu Shu, Sui Zhouping, Meng Jian and Qi Tao. Zhuge Liang also maintained close relations with other well-known intellectuals such as Sima Hui, Pang Dugong and Huang Chengyan. Huang Chengyan once told Zhuge Liang, "I heard that you're seeking a spouse. I've an ugly daughter with a yellow face and dark complexion, but her talent matches yours." Zhuge Liang agreed and married Huang Chengyan's daughter. Service under Liu Bei. At that time, Liu Bei resided at Xinye while he was taking shelter under Jing province's governor, Liu Biao. Liu Bei visited Sima Hui, who told him of Confucian academics and common scholars. How much do they know about current affairs? Those who analyze current affairs well are elites. Crouching Dragon and Young Phoenix are the only ones in this region. Zhu Shu later recommended Zhuge Liang to Liu Bei again, and Liu wanted to ask Zhu to invite Zhuge to meet him. However, Zhu Shu replied, "You must visit this man in person. He cannot be invited to meet you." Liu Bei succeeded in recruiting Zhuge Liang in 207 after paying 3 personal visits. Zhuge Liang presented the Longzhong plan to Liu Bei and left his residence to follow Liu. Afterwards, Liu Bei became very close to Zhuge Liang and often had discussions with him. Guan Yu and Zhang Fei were not pleased and complained. Liu Bei explained, "Now that I have Kongming, I am like a fish that has found water. I hope you'll stop making unpleasant remarks." Guan Yu and Zhang Fei then stopped complaining. As a diplomat in 208, Liu Biao died and was succeeded by his younger son, Liu Kong, who surrendered Jing province to Cao Cao. When Liu Bei heard of Liu Kong's surrender, he led his followers on an exodus southward to Xiaku, engaging Cao Cao's forces in a brief skirmish at the Battle of Changban along the way. While in Xiaku, Liu Bei sent Zhuge Liang to follow Lu Su to Jiangdong to discuss the formation of an alliance between him and Sun Quan. Zhuge Liang met Sun Quan in Chaisang and proposed 2 solutions to Sun. If you can use the forces of Wu Yu to resist the central government, why not break ties in advance? If you cannot oppose, why not demobilize the troops, discard your armor and surrender to the north? After Sun Quan's viceroy, Zhou Yu, analyzed the situation and pointed out weaknesses in Cao Cao's army, Sun finally agreed to ally with Liu Bei in resisting Cao. Zhuge Liang returned to Liu Bai's camp with Sun Quan's envoy, Lu Su, to make preparation for the upcoming war. As a logistics officer in late 208, the allied armies of Liu Bei and Sun Quan scored a decisive victory over Cao Cao's forces at the Battle of Red Cliffs. Cao Cao retreated to Yi, while Liu Bei proceeded to conquer territories in Jiangyan, covering most of southern Jing province. Zhuge Liang was appointed military advisor general of the household. He was put in charge of governing Lingling, Guiyang and Changsha commanderies and collecting taxes to fund the military. In 211, Liu Zhang, governor of Yi province, requested aid from Liu Bei in attacking Zhang Lu of Hanzhong. Liu Bei left Zhuge Liang, Guan Yu, Zhang Fei and others in charge of Jing province while he led an army into Sichuan. Liu Bei promptly agreed to Liu Zhang's proposal, but secretly planned to take over Liu Zhang's land. The following year, Liu Zhang discovered Liu Bai's intention, and the two turned hostile and waged war on each other. Zhuge Liang, Zhang Fei and Zhao Yun led separate forces to reinforce Liu Bei in the attack on Liu Zhang's capital, Chengdu, while Guan Yu stayed behind to guard Jing province. In 214, Liu Zhang surrendered and Liu Bei took control of Yi province. Liu Bei appointed Zhuge Liang as military advisor general, and let him administer affairs of his personal office. Whenever Liu Bei embarked on military campaigns, Zhuge Liang remained to defend Chengdu and ensure a steady flow of supply of troops and provisions. In 221, in response to Cao Pi's usurping of Emperor Qian's throne, Liu Bai's subordinates advised him to declare himself emperor. After initially refusing, Liu Bei was eventually persuaded by Zhuge Liang to do so and became ruler of Shu Han. Liu Bei named Zhuge Liang his chancellor and put him in charge of the imperial agency where Zhuge assumed the functions of imperial secretariat. Zhuge Liang was appointed director of retainers after Zhang Fei's death. Service under Liu Shan. In the spring of 222, Liu Bei retreated to Yang'an after his defeat of the Battle of Shouting and became seriously ill. He summoned Zhuge Liang from Chengdu and said to him, "You're 10 times more talented than Cao Pi, incapable of both securing the country and accomplishing our great mission. If my son can be assisted, then assist him. If he proves incompetent, then you may take over the throne." Zhuge Liang replied tearfully, "I'll do my utmost and serve with unwavering loyalty until death." Liu Bei then ordered his son, Liu Shan, to administer state affairs together with Zhuge Liang and regard Zhuge as his father. As a regent after Liu Bai's death, Liu Shan ascended to the throne of Shu Han. He granted Zhuge Liang the title of Marquis of Wu, and created an office for him. Not long later, Zhuge Liang was appointed governor of Yi province and put in charge of all state affairs. At the same time, the commanderies in Nanzhong rebelled against Shu. But Zhuge Liang did not send troops to suppress the revolt as Liu Bai's death was still recent. He sent Deng Ji and Chen Zhen to make peace with Eastern Wu and re-entered an alliance with Wu. Zhuge Liang would consistently send envoys to Wu to improve diplomatic relations between the two states. Southern campaign. During his reign as regent, Zhuge Liang set Shu's objective as the restoration of the Han dynasty, which, from Shu's point of view, had been usurped by Cao Wei. He felt that in order to attack Wei, a complete unification of Shu was first needed. Zhuge Liang was worried that the local clans would work with the Nanman tribes in Nanzhong to stage a revolution. Fearing the possibility that the peasants might rebel and press into areas surrounding the capital Chengdu while he was attacking Wei in the north, Zhuge Liang decided to pacify the southern tribes first. In the spring of 225, regional clans, including Yong, Gao, Zhu, and Meng, had taken control of some cities in the south, so Zhuge Liang led an expedition force to Nanzhong. Ma Su proposed that they should attempt to win the hearts of the Nanman and rally their support instead of using military force to subdue them. Zhuge Liang heeded Ma Su's advice and defeated the rebel leader, Meng Huo, on 7 different occasions. As it was claimed in later histories such as the Chronicles of Wayang, he released Meng Huo each time in order to achieve Meng's genuine surrender. The story about Meng Huo's 7 captures is recently questioned by many modern academics, including historians such as Miao Yu, Tan Liangshao, and Zhang Hualan. Realizing he had no chance to win, Meng Huo pledged allegiance to Shu, and was appointed by Zhuge Liang as governor of the region to keep the populous content and secure the southern Shu border. This would ensure that the future northern expeditions would proceed without internal disruptions. Rich and abundant resources acquired from Nanzhong were used to fund Shu's military, and the state became more prosperous. Northern expeditions and death. After pacifying the Nanman, Zhuge Liang ordered the Shu military to make preparations for a large-scale offensive on Wei. In 227, while in Hanzhong, he wrote a memorial, titled Chushi Biao, to Liu Shan, stating his rationale for the campaign and giving advice to the emperor on good governance. From 228 until his death in 234, Zhuge Liang launched a total of 5 northern expeditions against Wei, all except one of which failed. During the first northern expedition, Zhuge Liang persuaded Jiang Wei, a young Wei military officer, to surrender and defect to his side. Jiang Wei became a prominent general of Shu later and inherited Zhuge Liang's ideals. The other permanent gains by Shu were the conquest of the impoverished Wudu and Yinping prefectures, as well as the relocation of Wei citizens to Shu on occasion. However, Zhuge Liang's army never suffered casualties over 5% of the total forces, and the resources put into the military were affordable. In the spring of 231, Zhuge Liang finally met his nemesis, Sima Yi, at the Battle of Mount Qi, the most vehement campaign of the 5 expeditions in terms of death toll. In late 234, Zhuge Liang and Sima Yi reached a stalemate at the Battle of Wuzhang Plains. Straining his energy on military matters big and small, Zhuge Liang fell seriously ill and eventually died in camp at the age of 54. Before his death, Zhuge Liang recommended Jiang Wan and Fei to succeed him as regent of Shu. He was buried on Mount Dingjun according to his dying wish and posthumously granted the title of Marquis Zhongwu by Liu Shan family. Ancestor Zhuge Feng served as director of retainers during the reign of Emperor Yuan of Han. Father Zhuge Gui served as assistant in Mount High Commandery during the late Han dynasty. Uncle Zhuge Shan served as administrator of Yuzhang, joined Liu Biao later. He raised Zhuge Liang and Zhuge Jun. Siblings Zhuge Jin, elder brother, served Wu. Zhuge Jun, younger brother, served Shu. Elder sister, unknown name, married Pang Shanmin. Elder sister, unknown name, married a member of the Kuai clan in Zhangyang. Cousins Zhuge Dan, served Wei, participated in the 3 rebellions in Shouchun, killed after his defeat. Spouse Lady Huang, daughter of Huang Chengyan. She is commonly known as Huang Yueying or Huang Shou in folk tales. Sons Zhuge Zan, served Shu, killed in action during the conquest of Shu by Wei. Zhuge Huai, lived as a commoner during the Jin dynasty. Adopted children Zhuge Qiao, son of Zhuge Jin, adopted by Zhuge Liang, served Shu, died at a young age. Grandsons Zhuge Pan, son of Zhuge Qiao, returned to eastern Wu to continue the Zhuge family line there after Zhuge Ke's death. Zhuge Shang, eldest son of Zhuge Zan, killed in action with his father during the conquest of Shu by Wei. Zhuge Jing, second son of Zhuge Zan, moved to Hedong in 264 with Zhuge Pan's son Zhuge Jian, served the Jin dynasty. Zhuge Ji, youngest son of Zhuge Zan. Descendants Zhuge Ziki, also known as Marie Zhuge, a Hong Kong model, claims to be a descendant of Zhuge Liang. Legacy Inventions Zhuge Liang was believed to be the inventor of Mantu, the landmine, and a mysterious but efficient automatic transportation device referred to as the wooden ox and flowing horse. which is sometimes identified with the wheelbarrow, although he is often credited with the invention of the repeating crossbow that is named after him and called Zhuge crossbow. This type of semi-automatic crossbow is an improved version of a model that first appeared during the Warring States period. Nevertheless, Zhuge Liang's version could shoot farther and faster. Zhuge Liang is also credited with constructing the stone sentinel maze, an array of stone piles that is said to produce supernatural phenomenon. Located near Beidacheng, an early type of hot air balloon used for military signaling, known as the Kongming lantern, is also named after him. It was said to be invented by Zhuge Liang when he was trapped by Sima Yi in Pingyang. Friendly forces nearby saw the message on the lantern paper covering and came to Zhuge Liang's aid. Another belief is that the lantern resembled Zhuge Liang's headdress, so it was named after him. Literary works. Some books popularly attributed to Zhuge Liang can be found today. For example, the 36 Stratagems and Mastering the Art of War are two of Zhuge Liang's works that are generally available. Supposedly, his mastery of infantry and cavalry formation tactics based on the Taoist classic I Ching were unrivaled. His memorial, the Chushi Biao, written prior to the northern expeditions, provided a salutary reflection of his unwavering loyalty to the state of Shu. The memorial moved readers to tears. Zhuge Liang is also the subject of many Chinese literary works. A poem by Du Fu, a prolific Tang dynasty poet, was written in memory of Zhuge Liang, whose legacy of unwavering dedication seems to have been forgotten in Du Fu's generation. Some historians believe that Du Fu had compared himself with Zhuge Liang in the poem. The full text is in fiction. The wisdom of Zhuge Liang was popularized by the historical novel Romance of the Three Kingdoms, written by Luo Guanzhong during the Ming dynasty. There is great confusion on whether the stories are historical or fictional. At least, the empty fort strategy is based on historical records, albeit not attributed to Zhuge Liang historically. For Chinese people, the question is largely irrelevant, as the Zhuge Liang of lore is regardless seen as a mastermind, whose examples continue to influence many layers of Chinese society. They are also argued, together with Sun Tzu's The Art of War, to still greatly influence the modern Chinese strategical, military and everyday thinking. See the following for the stories in Romance of the Three Kingdoms involving Zhuge Liang. 3 Visits to the Thatched Cottage. Battle of Bo Wang. Zhuge Liang's diplomatic mission to Jiangdong. Borrowing arrows with straw boats. Zhuge Liang prays for the eastern wind. Battle of Jiameng Pass. Battle of Shouting. Meng Huo captured and released 7 times. Empty fort strategy. Events before Zhuge Liang's death. When Zhuge Liang fell critically ill during the Battle of Wujiang Plains, he attempted to extend his lifespan by 12 years through a ritual. However, he failed when the ritual was disrupted by Wei Yan, who rushed in to warn him about the enemy's advance. Before his death, Zhuge Liang also passed his 24 volumes on military strategy to Jiang Wei, who would continue his legacy and lead another 9 campaigns against the state of Wei. Worship of Zhuge Liang. There are many temples and shrines built to commemorate Zhuge Liang. Some of the most famous ones include the Temple of the Marquis of Wu in Chengdu, and the Temple of the Marquis of Wu in Beidacheng. Temple of the Marquis of Wu in Chengdu, Sichuan. Temple of the Marquis of Wu in Beidacheng, Fengji County, Chongqing. Temple of the Marquis of Wu in Zhuge Liang's hometown at Nanyang, Henan. The Temple of the Marquis of Wu in Chengdu, Sichuan, a temple worshipping Zhuge Liang.